to me, I can say cybersecurity is a fun space. When I say fun, I mean in the sense that it's a free zone for me because from onset I've always been like a tech person. So then looking at cybersecurity from a wider angle of things, you see that there are different angles to it. We practice cybersecurity in our everyday lives, knowingly, unknowingly, irrespective of whatever we're doing. Let me go to information security. When you're sending messages on WhatsApp, there's an encryption there. That's also part of cybersecurity. Your Facebook Messenger, messages you're sending is encrypted from end to end. So whatever you're sending to Mr. A, only Mr. A can see it. Then your group chat messages. In our everyday life, we practice an aspect or two of cybersecurity, knowingly or unknowingly.
Walk us through the basic steps to stay safe online.
Staying safe online requires your personal commitment to how you secure your data, your information, and whatever thing you click on. Let me give an instance. You're surfing through Facebook and then an ad pops up. An interesting ad though, but you don't trust the source and you click on it. You've given yourself you've introduced hackers into your system just like that because you might click on an unsafe link, a phishing link, or a spam link, irrespective of whatever is being advertised through that link. Take note of whatever you click on. That's the first step. Avoid sharing unnecessary information online, and then you're good to go.
What are your best practices for ensuring security in cloud environments? Any tools or techniques you swear by?
I can say I implement zero trust. Like that is my go-to, should I say, practice, not really a tool, because zero trust involves I believe everything online is a scam and everything online is posted online or sent online for the intent of making money or fetching data because data is money.
Any tools?
Tools. Tools. Okay. Not really tools. I can give you frameworks, but the frameworks are broad. So I can say NIST. NIST framework is a good framework. ISO 27001 is also a good framework because I've worked with both and I can tell you for sure that yeah, both of them are very good and safe for cloud security.
How do you usually keep up with the latest cybersecurity threats and trends? Any favorite blogs or sources you follow?
Cybersecurity threats. Coming to our local environment, that is Nigeria, we have the Cybersecurity Experts Association. They give there's a blog update that they send updates regularly. But looking at the general sense of things, I follow Cybersecurity Magazine. I follow information security threats and a lot more of them. But my favorite is still Cybersecurity Magazine because there they drop updates on regular happenings in and out of Nigeria, the whole world at large. So I would tell you that go out there, there are a lot of resources, but then just you can follow the CSEAN for Nigerians for starters.
Okay, what was the meaning of the CSE?
Cybersecurity Expert Association of Nigeria.
Talking about differences between symmetric and asymmetric encryption, how do you use them in your work?
Okay, symmetric and asymmetric encryption. In my workspace, I can say that I use the symmetric for things that are not too relevant to be protected, but I still protect everything. But an example is probably my messaging. I'm sending a message to a friend, a close message just to a friend, not business related. I used my symmetric. That is just a one encryption I send to him. He encrypts when he gets to his end. But the asymmetric is for both ways. Like, I mean, when I'm sending out, I'm encrypting it. Him receiving it, he's decrypting. So every day we also use this, but we don't really know. Let me give an example. Your WhatsApp messaging is symmetric because it's encrypted from your end and WhatsApp automatically decrypts it when it gets to you. So that is a symmetric encryption. But then the asymmetric is not something that I would say you always use because it requires encryption from the sender and decryption from the receiver. So that is like a high tech something, not for regulars.
Is there anything about teamwork in cybersecurity?
Yeah, cybersecurity speaks volumes about teamwork because you cannot necessarily do everything on your own. Okay, I work with a group of people when I'm working for organizations or I'm doing big projects because one person has to search for the threats. Another person can like find factors how to mitigate the threats before they become like large voluminous threats to the organization. So teamwork is key in cybersecurity. Although you can work as a one-man army for small organization or small threats, but I advise teamwork because it gets to the root of the problem faster.
What are some common vulnerabilities you have encountered in web applications? How did you go about fixing them?
Okay. I can recall there was once an authentication problem on a site I won't mention here because of security reasons. And also there was like, yeah, we had encryption problem because they were encrypting data to send to customers, and then on getting the customers, the customers could not decrypt with the encryption key they gave them. So that was one problem. Another problem was multi-factor authentication for a site I will not mention here. We've gotten into a lot of problems because Nigeria is still new to cybersecurity threats, and hackers are working tirelessly to to jump on this and then make money from it. But then there are ways to keep yourself safe and advice to business owners out there. You can do regular pen testing, penetration testing on your websites, your applications to see if there are any phishing links on the app, on the site. Start from there. Then along the line, you can give us a call and then we'll help you mitigate other solutions.
How do you handle risk management and assessments in your cybersecurity projects? Any specific frameworks or methodologies you prefer?
For risk assessments and management, I will tell you that there are different ways to face it, and there are also frameworks that are good for it. As I mentioned earlier, I mentioned the NIST and the ISO 27001. Those are very good frameworks for risk management and monitoring solutions. But then, before you look at those frameworks, you yourself, as a business owner, a company owner, a site owner, you could just do the small things that could help to help protect yourself, like asset inventory. Take inventory of all your assets, whether digital assets, physical assets, hardware assets, whatever asset that is related to your company, your brand, your business. Keep inventory of them. Just do regular checks on them, and then you're good to go.
When it comes to securing a wireless network, what steps do you typically take?
Okay, wireless network. Okay, this question is straight me back to probably 2023. Yeah, I was tasked with checking a small space because they had, should I say, they had networks in their space that were not allowed to be there. So if you want to keep your wireless network secure, you can start with small vulnerability scans or wireless scans. There are tools out there, you just download on your phone. You just, not even no need to download tools. Open your phone, go to your Wi-Fi, just search for networks in the area. Anyone that is higher or is very strong within you, you can just reach out to any call service provider to help you mitigate that network or shorten the bandwidth of that network if it's affecting your business. That is an easy step for you to do. You can do from comfort of your home. If you want more solutions, I can give you a quick run through of how you can do that.
Please give us.
Okay. So for wireless networks in your environment that you feel hazardous to you, you can change your personal network, your SSID on your network. That is your password, your PIN. Change it frequently. If people are tampering with your network frequently, encrypt your data even when transmitting on your local network. That will also help you like secure data faster.
Does this work in Nigeria or is just a normal saying?
No, it works in Nigeria a lot. Okay, but let me come to organizations in Nigeria that work with public domain. Okay, let me use the bank for example. All the banks have, should I say, the Wi-Fi access that if you go to the bank, you see it, but you cannot connect to it. What do you think that network is doing there? That isn't to transmit data from one spot to another, probably from the cashier point to the management office through a closed network. So even on that closed network, hackers can actually get into those networks and do that thing on the network. I don't want to go into details on this for bank security, but then, so if as a small organization, if you want to do this, you can just encrypt data during transmission. So you don't fall victim of, because somebody can just, hacker can be on your network waiting for information data to pass through, like important data to pass through, and he steals it. And then we gain breach of, okay, Nigerians listening to this, you've heard that bank lost 22 billion, 22 million. How do you think this happened? Hacker was just sitting comfortably on the network waiting for data to pass through. He took the data, worked on the data, siphoned money from the data, and that's it. So when your data is being encrypted on your wireless network, it protects your data more and it gives you the security that you deeply seek.
Have you implemented zero trust architecture before? Why do you think it's important for cybersecurity?
Okay, yeah, I've implemented that. Remember, the first question you asked was my best practices, and I said zero trust is the best for me. Yeah, sure. So when I say zero trust is you don't even trust the insiders working with you. That is how you harden your system. Um, People into computer science or upcoming starters in cybersecurity will understand me better when I say that your environment is your first point of weakness. That line is it seems muddy, right? But that's the truth because insider attacks is mostly the like number one go-to attack point for online brands and for cybersecurity threats. Because if an insider does not give loophole or vulnerability for hacker to work with, there's nothing that can happen. So when I say implementing zero trust is the best for me because even when I have a team working with me and I'm following up everything that is being done, message coming from Mr. A to Mr. B is encrypted. And the only key to decrypt it is with Mr. B. Mr. A does not even have the key to decrypt the message he sent from A to B. That's me implementing zero trust. Because I don't trust Mr. A to he might send out that message and then decrypt it and then falsify the message. That is me implementing zero trust.
So, an employee falls for a phishing attack. How would you handle the situation? What step will you take to mitigate the damage?
Okay, an employee falls for a phishing attack. Okay, is pretty straightforward. You first segregate the network the employee is working on. Probably he used his laptop or his personal mail to click on the phishing link and then he's getting attacks. The IT team can just mitigate his network, mitigate him out of the company's network. But when a case scenario whereby the phishing attack has eaten into the company system, you just I don't really know for most companies, but what we do, we have backups. So the first system, we can just put it on hold or a partial shutdown. Let the backup be running. So when you mitigate the issue or whatever phishing link that was sent to your domain from an outsider or wherever, you'd have before your backup is running as you're sorting it out. So it's pretty straightforward. But most companies that have backup, that's I advise you back up your systems.
What tools and technologies do you find most effective for monitoring and defending against cyber threats? How do you choose which ones to use?
Okay, let me start from the last sentence. For you to fix up any cyber threats, you need to know the type of cyber threat you're facing. So the tool you're using is dependent on the threat you're facing. Like the phishing tools, the phishing threats now, probably a malware link was sent to your system. The tool you're using there is probably a pen testing tool to know where it has eaten into and what damage has been done on your system. That's for a phishing link. In the case whereby you have an insider attack, a pen testing tool can also do that, but then you have to follow up with the encryption and decryption, access control, who and who had access to so and so, and the time-based controls on that system. So different security threats have different methods of facing them. It's all dependent on what the threat is. That's why we do asset inventory and asset risk management, risk analysis. So depending on the risk that is being presented or the vulnerability that has occurred, you know what to do next.
Aside from phishing, what other threats do we have?
There's a lot. There's multi-factor authentication failure. There is, should I go into all this? Okay, multi-factor authentication failure. There's encryption failure. That sometimes you might encrypt the data and then decrypting it might be an issue. There's also like cloud sourcing, whereby your your site that you know that yes, it's good and everything, but then you can come to it and then it's showing an error, probably error gateway or something. Someone has tried to clone the site. There are a lot of errors out there. Like I say, cybersecurity is like a wide field. You just have to need to protect yourself before you release anything out online because there are a lot of people out there waiting to steal data and use your data to make money.
What is the step-by-step guide to get one started? Anyone that wants to venture into cybersecurity roles, be it as an engineer or an analyst.
The first step is your mind. Just know you're entering it to train yourself. And cybersecurity is not a get rich fast scheme. Leave what you're seeing online. You take courses, you take exams. It's like a school on its own. So your mindset first. That is the truth. Leave. You'll make money from it, obviously. I'm not saying I'm very rich, please don't quote me. But then you make money from it. That is the truth. But take your time to learn. I'm still learning. That's the truth. I started a while back, but I can say I'm still learning. There are experts out there. A few, I don't mention their names, like my direct mentor, Mr. Anago. He has been in the field for about 15 years, but yet he'll tell you he's still learning. He's an expert, he's certified expert, like well known in Nigeria and abroad, but he's my direct mentor. So I can tell you that first thing first, your mindset. Then take classes, start from somewhere. You could do Cisco classes. I started from Cisco classes. You know the basics of networking, hardware, software. Because if you don't know these basics, you can't get into like the nitty gritty of cybersecurity. It's just like mathematics. You start with one plus one first before you got into division and multiplication. So once you set your mindset, do the Cisco classes. From there, you can upgrade classes down to the ISO class, NIST, PCI. There's a lot to learn. Just take your time and you'll be there.
Are there opportunities out there available?
A lot. There's a lot. Even in Nigeria, like Nigerians are looking for people with cybersecurity skills. You don't necessarily need to know a lot before you're gainfully employed. That's the truth. Just the basics you know can do a lot for you. Like I had a friend that started with just data analysis. Data analysis is also a part of cybersecurity. That one most of you don't really know. And she's making a lot. As a student, she's still at third year in school. But she's paying her parents' house rent. Come to think of it, what if that way, as a student, you're making that much to pay your parents' house rent? There's a lot there. Don't allow anybody discourage you. You'll be there.
So, what other skills do you have as a person?
For me,
Aside cybersecurity, what other things do you do? Or is it just cybersecurity or
nah,
there's something out there?
it's not just cybersecurity. Okay, I'm a drone pilot. I fly drones for fun. True. I play basketball. I'm actually 6'5". I'm very tall. So for fun, I do my drone piloting. I'm a basketball player. I'm into graphics design, web designs, a lot. See, tech field, I'm a proper tech bro, put it like that. I'm a forex trader by the side, but let's not go into that now.
Okay, thank you very much. We've come to the end of today's um, talk show. And the next segment we have now is picking three cards, my cards.
Okay,
So you pick three cards, you can shuffle. Pick three card, shuffle, then give me. I do the questioning.
shuffle and pick. Okay, so one,
Okay,
then go from the middle. The cards want to separate. Two, and then three. Okay,
it's two.
oh, two. No, I give you this. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay. So the first one, how do you feel about large social events like parties?
It's a fun place. It's a place to build connections. Depends on the event, but it's a connection ground. That's the truth.
What is one important item on your bucket list?
Travel the world.
And the last one, what is the most one item in your wardrobe?
I think that should be my basketball jersey
Really?
because I play like Wednesday, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays. So I think that is the most fun item. Apart from that, most times I work remote. Other times I go to work, so I shuffle my office clothes. But my basketball clothing is like constant. So I guess that's it.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yep.